Okay, good morning, boys and girls. So at our table today, we're gonna have some different like pink and red scraps at our table, and we are going to be making some Valentines. So this is how we're gonna do it. You're gonna get a sheet of paper, and you wanna take that paper and you wanna fold it in half like a book, and you're gonna crease it. And this is going to be our card. We're gonna make like a pop-out card that's gonna use different paper techniques, or paper, we call it paper manipulation techniques because we manipulate paper into different ways. So one of the techniques that you can do is you can make a basic pop-out. So what you're gonna do on the folded part, not the opening part, but the folded part, you're going to make two cuts that are the same length, okay? And this is just like a basic pop out, okay? So I've got two cuts that are the same length right here on the inside of my card. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it back up, and I'm gonna take that, and with my finger from the other side, I'm gonna push it, and I'm gonna kind of make a crease on just the little pop out part like this. And you can kind of see here, it kind of stands up. And what you can do is you can like glue a heart on that, or you could draw something else if you wanted, but you can glue something, and you can glue it, make something and glue it down here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on my heart, and I'll show you how to make some hearts in a minute. But this is just kind of your basic pop up, and you'll glue it, and you'll either glue it on the top or the bottom, but you don't want to glue it in the middle where that crease is, or it's not going to work. So once you've got that glued, you're going to close it, and then you're going to kind of squish on that top of that rectangle, and you're going to open it back up, and it'll be a cool little pop out, okay? Another thing that you can do is, if you like this space, this kind of creates like a negative space here, you can just do some paper techniques with the negative space, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. So I'm gonna make some more pop-ups, but I just wanna leave them not to pop, or not to glue anything on them, but just to kind of pop them out. So I'm gonna open it up and squish them, so they go back the other direction, open it up and squish it, and now I've got this like cool little space. Isn't that neat? Okay, so that's something that you could try. Another thing that you could try is a different kind of pop-up. It's called a spring. So for this, you need two long skinny strips of paper, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take them and you're gonna put them together like you're making an L shape. And I know you can't see that right here, but you're gonna hold them together right like this. Then what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna start slow, but I'll speed it up in a second. You're gonna take this strip underneath, and you're gonna press it over the top like that, where you're gonna flip it over the top. Then you're gonna take the next, and you're gonna flip it over the top, okay? And I'm gonna keep doing that back and forth, where the strip underneath, the one underneath, is gonna flip over the top. I'm gonna keep doing that over and over again, and I'm gonna speed that up for just a second, not with my camera, but just go a little bit faster here, until you run out of space. And one of your little strips is gonna become shorter than the other. And I'll show you what this looks like when it's done. So flip, 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 and I'm just gonna keep going. And I keep squishing it so they kind of stay down where I want them. And this is called a spring. So when you open up your card, whatever's on the end of it is gonna kind of spring up, okay? So I've run out of space pretty much now. I don't have enough to really fold it over again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that last one that I just folded over, and I'm gonna put some glue on him. And then I'm gonna squish him, and I'm gonna hold him, okay? And I'm just gonna do that for a few seconds. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom side. That last one, I'm gonna flip it up, put some glue on it, ding, ding, ding. And then I'm gonna squish it back down, and I'm gonna hold it. And this becomes a spring. It's kind of like a boingy, isn't it? It's pretty cool. And I'm gonna cut off any extra little piece. If there's an extra piece hanging up, I don't need that. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue that down. I can glue it on the top, or I can glue it on the bottom. You can glue it where you want it. And you're gonna put some glue on the bottom, okay? And then you're gonna put it down where you want it, and you gotta hold it. Okay, maybe count to 10. Ding, 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 ding. Did I get to 10? Close enough, right? And then it opens up, and it's a boingy. It springs out. And then if you want, you can glue something on it. If you want to put a little heart on it, You can glue something down on the top. Okay. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you today, well, maybe not the last because I still haven't shown you how to make a heart, have I? Let's do a heart first and then I'll get to the next one. So a heart, if you didn't know this, hearts are symmetrical, which means they're exactly the same on both sides. So one thing that you can do is you can fold a piece of paper in half, okay? And it could be a big piece or a little piece, however you want it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut almost like an ear shape, where it's round at the top, but then instead of coming down and being round at the bottom, it comes down and then it goes whoop, like the bottom of a triangle or half of a triangle like this, okay? So then what you're gonna do, if you draw that out, you can cut that out, or you can just cut it if you want to, okay? And then when you open it up, we've got a heart shape. And you can have fat hearts, you can have skinny hearts, you can have hearts of different colors, and that's okay. Having lots of different kind of hearts makes it fun, but those are how to make hearts, and you can glue those down anywhere you want. And then the last thing that we're gonna do today is a curly Q, okay? And the way that you make a curly Q is first, you need to start and you need to draw a circle, okay? But then you're going to draw almost like if you've ever seen a snail, if you've ever seen SpongeBob's Snail Gary, you know how he's got that kind of, the end of his shell kind of curves around like this. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start on one end and then we're just gonna curve around, okay? And I'll draw that up on the board in case you need a reminder. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out your circle. So, cutting out my circle, okay? And then I'm gonna set that aside. And then I'm just gonna cut on this line, on this little spiral. And I'm just gonna keep cutting and turning, cutting and turning, cutting and turning. And if I don't go exactly on the line, I'll just go back on the line. That's okay, no big deal. Cutting and turning, cutting and turning, okay? And then, whoop, I got off a little, that's okay. I'm gonna go a little bit more. So then what you're gonna do on your card is you can glue this top part to the top of your card, and you can glue the bottom part to the bottom of your card, and it kind of looks like a little curly Q slide. Have you ever seen those slides at a theme park or maybe a water park that go woo, all the way down, they spin down? That is so fun. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna hold that top piece, and I'm just gonna let this sit here for a second while I hold it and make sure it's stuck really good on the top. And then I'm gonna take the bottom end of the tail sort of thing, and I don't wanna glue it like all the way over here. What you wanna do is kind of naturally let it hang. So you're gonna squish your card together, and then you're just gonna let it stick naturally. Just kind of wherever it falls, and you're gonna rub on it to make sure it sticks really good, and then you're gonna open it back up. And I can glue some more of my hearts down if I want, but this is gonna be my pop-up card for Valentine's Day. Pretty cool, huh? Lots of fun stuff. Whoop, that guy fell off. I need to glue that again. But that's what we're going to do today. So I want you to try those 3 or kind of 4 techniques if you include the heart. So we need the regular pop-up, we need the boingy or the spring that kind of pops up, we need the spiral or the curly Q, and then we need to try to make at least one symmetrical heart, okay? Let's get started.